This presentation is brought to you by the Adult and Continuing Education's Career Development Center. I'm Cheryl De La Cruz, and we're going to talk about how to pay for college this upcoming fall 2020 semester. During this video, we will cover different types of federal and state financial funding that, if eligible, can assist you in paying for the upcoming academic school year. Student aid can potentially cover the full cost of college. We will also cover other scholarships that are specific to the college, like the LaGuardia Community College Foundation Scholarship, the New Americans Fund, and of course, other payment plan options. Let's talk financial funding. The first area we're going to talk about is the free application for federal student aid, also known as the FAFSA. At maximum, I've seen students receive $6,900 worth of aid, which is divided amongst 2 semesters. This also makes you eligible for federal work study, which allows you to earn money to pay for school by working part-time. It can also give you an opportunity to earn a book advance, because we all know those books are expensive. And of course, loans. But the good thing is, guys, most LaGuardians do not need any loans to help cover the cost of college. In order to be eligible to apply for the FAFSA application, you must demonstrate financial need. You must be a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen. Now, when I say eligible non-citizen, I mean those who are permanent green card holders, have asylum granted status, have refugee status, among some others. You also need your social security number. For males between the ages of 18 to 25, you will be asked to register for the selective service if you have not done so already. Another question you'll be asked is, are you a dependent student or an independent student? Dependent students are under the age of 24, are not married, are not veterans of war, or do not have any dependents. Independent students are over the age of 24, or are married, or are a veteran, or do have dependents. Oftentimes, students tell me that they don't live with their parents, but then they're under the age of 24 and don't meet any of the requirements for independent students. We can have a conversation about how to apply at a later time. So what else do you need? Of course, we need our 2018 tax forms, which are the 1040, 1040A, the W-2 can also be used, and a tax transcript. We'll talk about the IRS data retrieval tool a bit later. Just a reminder, one more time. If you are a dependent student, you will need your parent or guardian's tax forms. So those are the 1040, 1048, or IT-201 forms. If you are an independent student, you only need your own tax forms to apply. Now, pop quiz. If you did not file taxes, can you still complete the FAFSA application? The answer is yes, you can. Even if you did not file for the 2018 tax year, you are still able to complete the FAFSA and still have access to financial funding. But you know what? That's not even the best part. The best part is that our office is still here to help you complete all financial aid applications remotely, via Zoom, Google Hangouts, WhatsApp, honestly, whatever works. So now, before you start your FAFSA application, you will be prompted to create a FAFSA ID. A FAFSA ID is like your electronic signature. If you're a dependent student, your parent or guardian will also have to create a FAFSA ID, and you will need a social security and date of birth and valid email in order to complete the FAFSA ID application. Once you start your FAFSA application with your 2018 tax forms or not, you will be asked a couple of demographic and financial questions. Now, what if you can't find your tax forms? Trust me, it has happened. This is where the IRS data retrieval tool could come in handy. Your FAFSA can be linked with the IRS, which will then pull the information from your taxes onto your FAFSA application. The thing is, once you've completed your application, you'll be able to find out how much Pell Grant you may be eligible to receive, which will come in handy when you're trying to make a decision on whether or not you can afford college education. So first you have to FAFSA before you can tap. So the same rules apply. You have to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent green card holder, have asylum granted status or refugee status. You must be a New York State resident, meaning you've lived in New York State for 12 months or more. The information that you put in your FAFSA application will be pulled into your TAP application. It'll take about 1 or 2 weeks for you to find out how much TAP you would be eligible for, or if there's anything else required of you. So now let's move on to the Excelsior Scholarship. To be eligible for the Excelsior Scholarship, you must be a New York State resident or lived in New York for 12 months prior to your first semester. And as the FAFSA and the TAP, you must be a U.S. citizen or an eligible non-citizen. You must have a family income of $125,000 or less in order to qualify for the Excelsior Scholarship. Now remember that you must also be enrolled at least 12 credits per semester and earn 30 credits by the end of each year. Those are just a few of the guidelines that you need to follow in order to remain in good standing with the Excelsior Scholarship. New York State also has a brand new initiative called the Senator Jose Peralta New York State DREAM Act. Now this financial funding is specifically for students who have lived in New York and is their permanent home, but also have either a U visa, T visa, temporary protective status, or are without lawful immigration status, including DACA. So if you fall under any of those, but you also completed high school here, or your HSC GED here, you are eligible to apply for this scholarship, which is great for the students who are undocumented and want to continue their education, but had no way to pay for college. Also, you do not have to worry about being asked for your address, which could be a concern for some of the students. This application will not ask you for your demographic information, and if you do not have a social security number, one will be generated for you for the purposes of using this application only. This application could be a bit lengthy, so with all applications, your FAFSA, your TAP, the Excelsior, or the Jose Peralta DREAM Act, our office is here to help you with each and every one of these applications. Now, just a quick recap. So remember guys, FAFSA and TAP applications are currently open for the 2020 to 2021 academic school year. You will need to create a FAFSA ID, and if you are a dependent student, your parent will need to create one as well. You must be a U.S. citizen or a resident green card holder or have refugee status or asylum granted status in order to complete the FAFSA, TAP, and Excelsior scholarship only. For both TAP and Excelsior applications, if you earn your high school diploma, HSC/GED in a language other than English, you will have to take the Ability to Benefit test, aka the ATB test, a reading, writing, and math exam in order to determine if you are eligible to receive this funding. You will need your 2018 taxes for oral applications if you filed. Last but not least, you do not need to file the FAFSA or TAP in order to complete the Jose Peralta DACA applications. And remember, you will not be asked to share your home address. You will not be asked to upload tax documents. And if you do not have a social security number, one will be generated for you for the purpose of applying. This concludes this part of the video. Check out our YouTube channel to hear about the rest of the scholarships and payment plan options. Thank you for watching.